Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS, the inventor of the CTKS method that helps you identify where smart money is buying and selling, and the founder of Positive Excellence on how to think yourself into a better life. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back, KS family. Please note I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. With that said, let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently up 1.13% to 21,827. Ethereum is up 1.63% to 1538. A couple of days ago, the markets were quite red, and Rule 214 from the Masterclass: red days create opportunities. They certainly do. As a global family, we actually really like red days. We like them because that puts us on the right side of the percentage. We don't go short, we go long at spot. I'd like to say thank you to Rect for his comment. Proud to be part of the best community on YouTube and in crypto. Thanks, Ken and Kate. It's great to see you comment, Rect. There was also a really interesting comment on the yields and how it impacts crypto and the stock market. Masterclass students, you get my live chart in LV24. One thing to understand, the relationships between different financial classes always are subject to change. We don't want to get into a position where we say, if the yields go up, everything comes down, or if the yields come down, everything goes up. It doesn't work that way. It's not a one-to-one association, but you can find over time things will turn in one direction or another. And we've been seeing the inversion of yields actually predicting the upswing in the major indices and Bitcoin for some time, but it wasn't always that way. And you have to be aware of this. For example, a lot of people say when the DXY goes one way, crypto in the markets will go the other way. That does happen a lot of the time, but it doesn't happen all of the time. This phenomenon is actually addressed inside the masterclass in TM9 and TM10, continuously reliable signals. As professional traders, we're always after the best possible signal, and we know those signals can change. That's why I always talk about the changing of the guard. It means that relationships are changing. But right now, what we're seeing inside the markets is as the yields come up, the major indices are pulling back, and this was the case for quite a while as well. We know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Yesterday we were here at this particular point, and how did price progress from that point? We saw that we'd overcome one area of resistance, turning it to support, but we saw another short-term level of resistance. Was price going to come back and touch that resistance level? When it was down here, or even down here, a lot of people would have said, no way, it's just going to melt down. And of course there was a lot of negative news in the market yesterday. For example, Gary Gensler just going after anything and anyone he possibly could. But look at this, we've actually met that very short-term resistance level, and Bitcoin is now trading at 21,875. CTKS Method version 1 was exceptional on drawing these kind of lines. CTKS Method version 2 is exceptional on drawing these kinds of zones. In truth, you have to go through level 1 to actually get to level 2, and that's inside the CTKS method. So what is the difference between these two? When we look at this particular level from 22,571, that's an institutional sell zone. An institutional sell zone basically means it's much stronger resistance than this very short-term resistance level that we're seeing right here and right now. Smart money is always aware of short-term resistances like this and like this. It always has an understanding of what it means, but they actually look into objective dynamic market structure. They want to know where the real targets are. And this is a very important part of looking at trading as an actual profession. I'll explain a little bit more by looking at the DXY. For example, if you looked at the DXY, you may be hard-pressed to know where the market structure is. What is market structure? It's where the smart money will come in and buy and sell. And why do we need to know that? Because the smart money is actually the ones who drive price appreciation when price goes up and price depreciation when price goes down. Objective dynamic market structure is only revealed through the CTKS method, and that's a method that I invented. Because I've been in markets for more than 3 decades, you get to learn a few things. And what did we see with the DXY? We saw previously that the DXY was coming through, just grinding through a very steep sell level. And what does that mean? When you've got a lot of sellers actually seeking to push the price down, this is where you get that grinding effect. And what happened? The sellers actually gained control and pushed it down to the next smart money buy level. And this was an institutional buy level. And what did it do? It bounced. When it came up again, and you often see this retesting, I call this the pinball effect. You're literally seeing price be like a pinball and just bouncing between bumpers, up and down, up and down, up and down. It does it all the time. But if the bumper is too weak, it will fall through it and be caught by the level below it. And when you look at the CTKS method, we're into things called Stanfield levels. Those SLs are just the best because they show you exactly where the bumper is and how strong it is as well. Not all bumpers are created equal. And you can see just how price is pinging between these support and resistance levels. If it's too weak to hold, it will just go down and drop down to the next one. If it's so strong, it will seek to come up to the next one. It doesn't always make it in one hit. Sometimes it has to come back, regroup, and go forward. This is a very, very powerful thing to know. It's kind of like getting X-ray vision on the markets. One thing that Masterclass is very, very good at is actually painting the picture of how all market asset classes are intercorrelated and interconnected. When we look at the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF Trust, we can see that it's got a lot of smart money support from the level of 403.19 to 405.96. It had a smaller one between 407.05 and 407.45. Now the price of the SPY is above that and it's currently 408.04. What does this actually mean and how do you interpret this? First of all, you've got to figure out where the next level above is. Where's the smart money coming in to actually sell? And we can see it's up here. So there's a lot of what I call fresh air because that fresh air actually creates no real structural resistance between the price where it is now and this smart money sell level. One thing to note is price is always moving in a wave. It's going up, finding resistance, coming back, finding support, going up, finding resistance, coming back, finding support. But notice this low is actually higher than this low. That's why this low is called a higher low because it's higher. And this one is a higher low. When you get a series of higher lows together, that is forming an uptrend. That's got support underneath it. You can see if I just draw a level between this low and this low, we're getting a structural support line. Now this is a really weak structural support line. It's a short-term line. It's not like market structure. There is a really big difference. Let's just zoom into that area. What we can actually see. This particular low and this higher low, we're drawing a line here. And what do we notice with the next pullback? This is called a pullback. When you get a pullback, what you actually see is if the trend, and this is a trend of support, is the trend being maintained or is it weakening? And we can see the price actually came all the way down to that trend line and said no. The buyers said no, go up. And it definitely did go up. And it was challenging a structural resistance level at the same time as it did that. This is a very strong signal. The positive price momentum was inside the market. Now we're seeing what is actually called a bit of a takeoff line in the SPY. I'll just show you. If I draw a trend line, and this is a trend line, From this particular low to this particular low, just this edge, what we're actually seeing is there's an increasing amount of buying interest in the SPY. That's a really fascinating thing because we know that Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, and we do such deep dives inside the masterclass. Inside the masterclass, we talk about a thing called positive air and negative air. This is positive air because the air between this particular low and that lower trend line, well, there's just air there. And that actually means that the buyers have stepped in and they're supporting price. And you can see it with the next candle. It's just going for it. This is showing a degree of upsurge in momentum. And that's what we want to see inside the markets. The next question to ask yourself, and this will change on every chart, and this is why we look through so many charts, why are we getting an upsurge here? Because there's so much buying support in this zone and so little buying resistance in this zone. There's such a safety net. When you look at a Stanfield zone or an SC, just look at it from this perspective. It's like a big safety net, and the bigger the zone, the bigger the safety net. It's literally SCs try to catch price and pin where reversals will actually occur. And we can see that this is absolutely the case with the SPY as of this current time. You'll often see the case where things consolidate between two ranges as well. And this is something good to keep in mind. When you've got a lot of buy money support underneath price, you typically get these long tail rejections. A rejection means that that candle was once upon a time fully red. And then what happened? The buyer said, no way, that's a bargain, I'm getting in. And they push it all the way up to close it up here. That's what creates these tails. Tails can go in both directions, both upwards and downwards like this. What was this actually doing? This was seeking out if the buyers were there, and the buyers were saying, yeah, I'm here, you're not going down. And you can see this good particular level of smart money buy interest between 760 and 790 in Doge. And we can also see how similar this is to the SPY. This is why a lot of people don't actually look as far afield as they need to. The stock market is absolutely gravitationally biasing the crypto market. And why is that? Because crypto is hitting the mainstream. Let's look at it from another perspective. Having a look at BNB. BNB is in a smart money sell area. Why is that? Because this was a smart money buy area, but it's a weak smart money buy area. You can see how price didn't just tap it and bounce. It found its weakness and it's been literally just propping itself up with the buying interest at the moment, but it is weak. And there's a reason for that, because BNB cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. When you look at this structure of BNB in terms of price momentum, it's very, very similar to Bitcoin. When I say it's very similar, if I just overlay Bitcoin's gravity with BNB, you can see that there is quite a similarity. It's not 100% similar. For example, sometimes BNB won't go down as much as Bitcoin, and that's what we expect from the alts. Sometimes it goes up more than Bitcoin. We expect that from the alts as well. When it comes to trading, you're not looking for certainty, you're looking for probabilities and a confluence of probabilities. You're looking for continuously reliable signals. Each and every day, we go through Bitcoin's gravitational alignment with the top alts, that blue line. And you can see the blue line, Bitcoin's price action, this action becomes the blue line. With Ethereum, it's very, very strong. As Bitcoin was selling down, what was ETH doing? It was selling down. As BNB was selling down, what was Bitcoin doing? Well, it was selling down and pulling it with it. XRP selling down. ADA selling down. A lot of people think that it must be 100% overlaid to be correlated. This is not the case. You're looking for directional associations. Let's have a look at Ethereum and just Take note of the structural cell level between 1581 and 1607. Ethereum is currently 1534, and we can see a smaller smart money buy level from 1475 to 1482. The really powerful thing is that when you learn the CTKS method, you'll be able to understand SLs. SLs are 100 times more powerful than Stanfield zones, because they will give you the magnitude, the direction, and the strength. They're very, very powerful. We know from what we've just seen that Bitcoin is dictating. Literally, it's a dictator. It says, Ethereum, I'm going down, so you must go down. Ah, what a dictator. Bitcoin, please. The one thing that we do towards the end of the CTKS Method Standards Certification is we overlay all the trend lines on the current price action. That's a very, very powerful thing for you to do. One thing that I do as an inventor, I'm always modifying, improving every single methodology that I create. I'm already working on CTKS Method version 3, and when it comes out, it's going to blow your minds. The CTKS Method service will come out as soon as practically possible. I always do Rolls-Royce quality work, and I won't put anything out unless it's the best that I can put out for you. Being in the markets for more than 30 years, you learn a lot about money and how important it is and how important it actually isn't. Money, unfortunately, does not bring anybody happiness. It certainly brings comfort. You can sit in a nicer car. You can be in a nicer house. You can wear nicer clothes. But none of those things will make you sustainably happy. That's why I developed the concept of positive excellence. When I was doing my finance degree, everybody, all the professors, were always talking about how much money you could make and how rich you could become. The concept is that yes, making money is all well and fine and good, but if you feel empty and hollow inside when you have all your shiny new toys all around you, that's not the place you want to be. You actually want to be enjoying life at the same time. As we talk about positive excellence on the weekend, it's really important to know that there's very little to no positive excellence in Zone 1. The positive excellence does improve and increase in Zone 2. In Zone 3, it's getting over 50%. In Zone 4, you're living it. When people have an absence of positive excellence in their lives, they feel very empty and they feel that life is very meaningless. They also create a competitive mindset where they think the world is against them, that the world is out to get them. This couldn't be further from the actual truth. In this world, what we give is what we get, but you have to give first. The greatest contribution of positive excellence is just to think about ourselves as a collection of habits. We're a collection of good habits and a collection of bad habits. We're human. We don't have to eliminate all the bad habits. Maybe some bad habits bring a bit of spice to life. I don't know. But the concept is, we don't need to be perfect. We just need to seek to improve. And the problem is, we are all unaware of our negative habits. And why is this the case? Well, habits just occur outside consciousness. If they are automatic and subconscious, you just don't know they're happening. So therefore, how do you know if a habit is either positive or negative? Look at what the reaction is in other people. If the reaction is negative, it's most likely a negative habit. If the reaction is positive, it's most likely a positive habit. Sometimes it's not about other people at all, it's only about ourselves. For example, a negative habit could be sitting on the couch watching TV, snacking on all the stuff that probably we shouldn't snack on, if we wanted to be healthy. But how do we break these negative habits? The first thing is to understand it's just a habit. It's not you. A lot of people say, this is my personality. When I come home from work, I'm tired. I need to sit on the couch. I'm exhausted. Okay. Well, that is fair. That's what you do. But please note, that's just a habit. You could do something else if you wanted to. You're the only one in control of your life. Don't make the habits control your life. Don't be a puppet to habits. A beautiful thing is to remember that every positive habit makes you, and you can start really, really small and scale. For example, if you want to reach for the junk food, reach for a healthier alternative instead. That one small action sets a whole course of life in process. It does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. For example, if you're feeling like you need to go for a walk every day, but you don't go for a walk, or you might want to go for a jog, or you might want to do some kind of sport or exercise, and you think, oh, I'm just too tired. I just can't be bothered. Yes, we all get to that point in life where we just we can't be bothered at all. So how do we deal with that? We just activate positive excellence, especially the persistence and commitment, determination components of it. When you're determined, nothing can stand in your way. When you're committed, you just won't give up. When you're persistent, you turn up every single day. Rain, hail, shine, no excuses. Living your life in this way is a literal game changer. I'd like to thank Bruna for her very nice comment yesterday. Hi Ken and Kate, thank you for this awesome update. My husband has been listening to your videos in the background as I watch them daily, and today he said, that's it, I have to subscribe to his videos. Your positive excellence is contagious. Thank you Bruna, and a very warm welcome to your husband. Thank you also to Crypto Badger. Awesome research, Ken. The smart money buy and sell levels are extremely helpful. I didn't know about Snow Girl. I'll watch it. That's a series on Netflix. It's actually 8 episodes. And when you get to episode 7 and episode 8, you see negative excellence in all its glory. You see what not to do when solving a problem. And thank you, my friend. Thank you also to Tiana for your very nice comment. Tiana said, I noticed that more and more experts in the field of finance and the economy are agreeing that 2023 will be a volatile year. The fact that you noticed a long time ago, nothing better for trading than volatility, our best friend. We have a rule for that inside the masterclass. Make volatility your best friend. Tiana says, I'm so immersed into the masterclass revision and charting and creating and tracking and quantification of my skill improvements that I'm a bit lost in the time-space dimension. Well done, my friend. I'd also like to thank the various people for their kind generosity. They bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. A very big thank you to CC and to Oscar, to Vicente, and to Sinman, and to Steve as well. Thank you so much, my friends. Thank you again, CC, for your kind question in the comments from yesterday's video. I hope that helped. It's a really big question to answer in just one video. Seeking continuously reliable signals and seeing when things go in and out of phase is what I suggest you look at. Also, the notion of lags. Directional correlation is also really super important. I also hope that explaining how these different lines and different levels actually works out in practice, and this is a very practical market. In this episode of the video, I combine trading mindset with trading skills and also positive excellence related to habits. And one of the most powerful habits that we can ever get is a daily affirmation or a series of daily affirmations for financial success, for life abundance, and especially happiness. And that's what we do through the CTKS Creed, which is, I know the universe is designed to make me succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. Going slow to go fast is a pretty important thing to talk about from time to time. A lot of people want to go fast, but they end up going really slowly because what they put out just doesn't meet the requirements that need to be ticked. It's important that with all things, you just take your time and you put your best foot forward always. Not when you feel like it, but all the time. And this is not quite as hard as it sounds, because when it becomes a habit, guess what? It becomes a habit. You wouldn't even think about it because you don't have to, because it's a habit. Okay, let's continue with the creed. I start small and scale with buy on red, sell on green, BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. I always solve my problems through positive excellence. We know better habits create a better life, and it takes a bit of time to create a habit, so don't worry about it. Just take your time. After all, you're going to be spending the time anyway, so why not spend it well? Always remember, my friends, that all results come from the mind, and a better mind creates better outcomes. If you're not seeing the results that you want from your life, you simply have to change a habit. You don't have to change your personality. Your personality is fantastic. You just have to change a habit that's not serving you. Have a great weekend ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.